All right, so I bought a Fenix PD36R Pro from the seller EdisonBright on Amazon, and that came with this flashlight and this battery on the right side. I suspect, it's just my opinion, but I suspect that this battery is either counterfeit or sold as a old crappy battery. There's a number of reasons for that. Starting with, it's not working. So it won't charge past 2.9 volts, and it doesn't get properly detected as a lithium ion in my XTAR smart charger. So it won't charge via direct USB from the flashlight past 2.9, nor any of my smart chargers where the battery on the left, so this initially worked the first day I got it, and I liked it so much that I ordered my mom one direct from the manufacturer in a different color because they offer different colors and engravings at no additional charge if you order direct from Fenix. So when I went to then continue to use mine, that's when I noticed the problems and the voltage issues. And so when my mom got hers, I had ordered hers that came with a battery as well as an extra battery that I had added to the order. And both of those batteries are fine in both flashlights. They charge okay. And both of those batteries look identical to this one on the left. But my battery that came from EdisonBright, there's some differences. So I'm gonna walk through those. Again, I suspect, I don't know, that it's either a counterfeit battery or a old shitty battery that they sold. So difference one, I think you can see it in here, is all of the coloring is faded on the battery from EdisonBright. So the oranges are, the orange is more pale, the gray, the white, everything is paler on this one. Let's see, next difference. And this is one of the ones that I find particularly interesting. So you might not be able to tell in the video, but on the left, the known good battery direct from Fenix, this lot number is, well, I presume it's a lot number. I don't feel anything there. And it almost looks as though it was either part of the printing process or very cleanly applied. And that's very different than the lot number on the right in that you can feel the raised lettering. So this was either, embossed or stamped mechanically in a very different way than this one was. Additional differences. So, they're both ARB L21 5000 V2. They claim to be on the model number. Lettering looks the same. I can't tell if the lettering is thinner on the known authentic battery or if it's just the faded color makes it, this looks more crisp. But I do think, and I don't know if you can see it in here, I do think that these background gray lines radiating are thinner on the Fenix battery. Some other differences, let me see, I think there's one more. Oh, so both of the batteries that my mom got direct from Fenix say made in China 005. The battery included with EdisonBright's sale is made in China 006. They do appear to be the same length and width dimensions, but I did notice one other difference, or two other differences. So again, known good battery on the left, suspect battery on the right. You will see that the circumference of the metal exposed part, I think it's a bit different. It looks like the wrap is thinner on the left, the good one. You'll see the little Y on the good one, but this one has a H. Now that could be, again, factory, a lot number, something that's nothing to worry about. But the other thing is that if you look at, I don't know if you can tell, but again, it's not just the total circumference of this metal, this ridge going around it does seem to be a bit thicker on the suspect battery. I haven't checked, but let's see if we see anything here. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can totally see like even, well, maybe it's just the angle. No, No, there's a difference there. So I don't know if you can see it, but the known good battery almost has a little bit of a matte finish to it. And this is definitely shinier and potentially bigger in circumference. So the suspect battery is shiny and bigger. This is a little bit more matte and I think smaller, or it has a less of a taper on those shoulders, making it look different. So definitely something different there. It's not just the labels that are different. So the flashlight that my mom got direct from Fenix came with a battery in the flashlight with one of those little tabs you pull out to protect the battery from discharge. Now, and then in addition, it came with the spare I ordered in a separate Fenix little plastic battery compartment. Now, from EdisonBright, they sent me the flashlight, but the battery came in another one of those plastic Fenix branded battery compartments. It was not in the flashlight the way it was from Edison. Pretty suspect, if you ask me. Let's see, other differences. So, you know, I haven't over discharged this battery. I charged it for quite a few hours when I first got it. It hasn't been stored in the heat, dropped, damaged, whatever. And originally, before I even tried my smart charger, you know, I was charging it through the USB port in the flashlight. Now, what I will say is that holding these side by side, the flashlight to my mom's flashlight, they look and feel identical. When I'm using a good battery in this one, it does, I can't tell a difference between that and my mom's. So I think my suspicion is that I got a real flashlight with a fake battery or a old, damaged, refurbished, returned, problematic battery. There's too many differences with this. To be fair, I will call out that the batteries, they both did weigh 72 grams on my kitchen scale. So, and that's what the manufacturer approximately says they should weigh. So my suspicion is, at first I was thinking 2.9 volts, that matches the charge current disconnect of a lithium, I think it's called lithium titronate LTO battery. So I was thinking, is it a fake battery chemistry? I don't think that's the case. My suspicion is that this is a counterfeit battery that is made with crappier cells or bad cells or a bad protection circuit. I don't think it matches the quality of Fenix. And then the other observation I had is that when it was in my smart charger, the bad battery, the smart charger would initially show that it was delivering a charging current. I had the current max set at 1 amp, but it was, delivering, maybe 1 a second or something. And it would only count up to no more than 5 or 10 milliamp hours of charging current delivered to the battery before the battery suddenly appeared, or before the smart charger showed that the battery wasn't even there. The charger I have, I think it's the XT-AR, like 4SL or something like that, 4 charging points. It can show me resistance, voltage, charging current. It has automatic 0 volt attempted recovery mode if it senses a bad lithium ion battery. It says error if it sees a problem with the battery. None of that showed up. What would happen is it would start charging for a few seconds, and then the screen registered as though there was no battery there. Now, I didn't do any further testing with my multimeter, but that makes me strongly suspect that there is a protection circuit in here, and I think it was disconnecting the charge current. And my guess is that because this has toast, 1 or more cells that are toast or something's wrong with them and won't allow it to be charged. So between the weights because the weights of the batteries are practically identical or the same as far as I can tell, I'm leaning towards, again, counterfeit battery or shipped a crappy battery. I would think it was just a a quality control fluke if it weren't for the fact that there were so many differences with the label and differences in the shipping. It's like, you know, it almost appeared as though maybe someone opened the real flashlight with the real battery, kept that, resold, you know, for whatever they want to do with it, and then gave me a bum battery because it's odd to me that the battery didn't come in the flashlight like it did with my mom's. And one other last thing, I did weigh this flashlight, and you know the manufacturer says it should be 100 grams, I think, and it was 100 grams. So again, I think this is an authentic light, crappy battery. I'd love to hear if other people have a battery like this that seems to work fine, so that, you know, I'm respectful to EdisonBright if they did give me a good battery and this is just a random problem. Thanks.